We're here today to talk about, well, first of all, Happy New Year to everybody. And that's a bit late saying it. We've had to, as you know, delay the press conference a couple of times because of the weather. But we're here today and we have 9 of our 10 youngsters in attendance. One of them couldn't get here because he's quite ill at the moment, so hopefully he gets better. But we've got 9 of the lads here. And what I'd like to, what I was looking to do today with you guys is to talk about our 10 for 2010. And what we've done, we found, we've got 10 of our young fighters, or 9 of them here today, who've had less than 10 fights. And this is really, I think, to show the depth of talent that certainly I feel that I look after, manage and promote, and also the depth of talent in British boxing. Real quality youngsters. As I say, none of them even had 10 fights yet. Got a wealth of experience as amateurs, and all of them are doing very well since they turned professional. And I'm expecting big things from them over the next, in this new decade that we're in. They've all got a good different personalities about them. They've all got something going from them. They all come from different parts of the country. We've got front row there. With one of the brothers missing, but we've got two families, and the competition in those families, to be who's going to get there first is really, with the Smith brothers and with the Walshes, is going to be quite interesting over the next year or so. And then we've got the top table here. We've got young Ronnie Heffron, who's had 1 fight. We've got James DeGale, in his own introduction, 5 fights. We've got Frankie Gavin to my right, he's had 5 fights. Billy Joe's had 5. And Thomas Costello to the far right's had 8 fights. Down the front to my left, Liam Smith, 9 fights. His brother Stephen, 4 fights. His brother Stephen, 9 fights. Liam Walsh, 6 fights. Ryan, 8. And Michael, as I say, he's not here. He's had 6 fights. So there's a real depth of talent there, and I'm really excited about it. I'm excited that, besides the next level that we've got, the likes of the Tony Bellews, the Nathan Cleverleys, and the Mitchells, and the Kell Brooks. You've got all these guys on their tail. They're coming through as well. So it's really exciting times for British boxing, like I keep banging on about. Real exciting times with all these youngsters. And I think the British boxing is in good hands with them. I really do expect, and I'm putting my reputation as what I've done as a manager and promoter over the years on the line, is saying that I think we've got a potential 4 or 5 world champions going to come through here. I really do think that's the quality of what we got. As I say, they're very at the moment very focused on what they want. All know where they're going. They're impatient. I had a bad year last year as far as TV is concerned. Satanta going bust. ITV out of sport. Sky, thankfully, were there. But it was a bad year as far as the number of shows I normally do, and this is going to change this year. Otherwise, these guys would have had more fights, but they're going to have more fights this year. You're going to see more of them. We're going to bring them through. And a couple of them, I think, are a little bit more forward than others, and they'll probably challenge for titles before. But at least 3 of these, I think, at the end of the year, will have belts around their waist. I'm not talking about world title belts, but they will have belts. And I think within the next couple of years, they'll be in a position where they'll be challenging for world titles. As I say, exciting times for the boxing. The 9 of the 10 are here. I'm sure you've got a lot of questions to ask, so if you want to, please feel free to do so.
Can you tell us about the television coming up then?
Well, we're negotiating at the moment, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but I'm fairly certain we're going to see a lot more boxing on TV. And as I say, I'm very, from Sky's point, the stuff that we do with Sky, I'm really happy the way that's going now. We've got them back into Saturday night boxing. We've got a show at Wembley where I think about 6 of these guys are fighting at Wembley on the 13th of February. That's a Friday night show. So all you press guys who've been complaining, and I understand why that some of these Friday night shows are difficult. To be on the Saturday is great for us. Gives us a chance to get, to put on bigger promotions. And I hope it's going to be the first of many.
You've got 6 of these guys at or around 10 stone.
Yeah.
Is that good or?
Fantastic. It's competitive. That's what it's all about. You go back to the old days. I can think of exciting times in the 90s when you had, they were champions at the time. You had Eubanks, you had Michael Watson, You had Nigel, Ben, Steve Collins, all those guys were around the same weight, and hopefully we get into the same position here. Some of them will probably move up in weight as well as they go along, as they mature. Don't rush with the questions.
It's great. Fantastic. It's been good. It's been going good. I had a tiny bit of a rest over Christmas. But from January the 1st, I was back on it. Back running in the snow in Epping Forest. Back training hard. So it's been nice. Nothing's really changed because there's a bit of snow and a bit of ice for me. Oh, I can't wait. It's one I've been waiting for. Wembley Arena. Oh my God. Just round the corner for me. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Tickets, I've personally sold about 500 tickets myself. I've took 500 tickets myself, so should have a good crowd there. And I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait.
And it is going well. And the Liam and Stephen Smith down there, they'll be supporting their brother who's fighting Tony Dodson in Liverpool on the 12th of March. So it's another big show for us. I'm expecting we'll have 5,000-6,000 people there. I mean, we do that. That's the one thing I think that we do more than anybody else. We get bums on seats. We promote. When these kids come to fight, they're in arenas where they're big arenas, and and hopefully they can see where it's going to take them to. They're going to be the main event one day. And as I say, Wembley's going well. We're doing the same thing in Liverpool, and we're about to announce another big show in about 6 or 7 days' time, which I'm sure everybody's going to capture everybody's imagination. So some really good stuff lined up. Real exciting times for these youngsters. And as I said earlier, and I know a couple of them have been a little bit disappointed, thinking they could be more active, and I'll keep repeating that. But this year will be their year. They will move. They will all move, and they'll have lots of fights this year.
Yeah, it's a good show. It's a big show. It's got like Frank said, all the prospects on in the next couple of months. So I think everyone will see where we're at and how hard we've been training over Christmas. And the opponent, Pierre McDonough, is tough. He's going to come to win, but he's not going to win. That's the only thing. I've seen most of his fights. I've got most of them on DVD. He's tough. He likes to fight, and then he likes to go on the back foot and outbox you. But come fight night, I'll be ready for anything he offers, really.
We're actually trying to get some sort of title fight on for him in Liverpool, and that's what we're working towards. And I'm a big believer. I'm a believer in all of them. I'm a big believer in Stephen, and hopefully he will. If it's not in Liverpool, certainly within the next 3 months, he will fight for a title, his first title. I don't think and it's not a question of rushing. You look at, you go back over time, and you look at, I suppose you look at the era I grew up in boxing, the 60s, 70s, etc. And fighters would have 24, 25, sometimes 30 fights before they even fought for a British title. It happens much quicker nowadays. You've got fighters, rather than having 6-rounders, 8-rounders, 10-rounders, they're moving very quickly and fighting in championship duration, 12 rounds. So it shows you how fit they are. And as far as Stephen's concerned, I don't think he's far off. I really don't think he's far off fighting for the British title.
It's hard, to be honest, when you've got your brother there, and I think everyone who knows the feeling knows it's harder to watch them box than do it yourself. And if you could, you'd do it over again rather than have them fighting. But especially with it being title fight, it is hard. But it's better with us being on before them, because we can get out the way and then sit back and try and watch, really.
You guys spar Jack?
I don't spar Paul, but I spar Liam, and Liam spars Callum and Paul. They all spar each other. They're more similar weights, but I only really spar Liam. I don't spar the other two. And the younger one, Callum, he's like 6'3" now. I can't get near him.
Spoken to brothers then, how competitive are you
The Walsh is probably the same. I mean, with us, we're more competitive with each other than anyone else. You know, we like push each other on. We run together, train together, and you know, we're more competitive with each other than anyone else. And I think the lads are probably the same.
Yeah, I totally agree with him. We're all massively competitive. It's always about who's the best, and when we're running, it's a race, and when we're training, it's who trains the hardest, and we're massively competitive between us three, and all the time in anything we do.
In my opinion, the most competitive person inside here. If he were, you'd hear it. He'd be telling you he's the best at this, the best at that. But he's a brilliant motivator, and through him wanting to win so much, we always try and beat him. We're younger, so it's always good to try and get one up on your older brother. So it's
Do the Walsh brothers live together, or are they?
within about 10 feet, we've got 2 flats above an arcade, and they're next door. And I've got a young family, so I've got 3 babies, so I'm in 1 flat there next door.
I unfortunately have to live with Michael, and he's next door with the family, but we can walk into each other's house. We've got it so we can walk. We basically live together, yeah.
But it never stops. The competition never stops.
No.
It's not just in the gym, it's at home as well.
Yeah, everything, yeah. Whatever we do, board games, anything, it always ends up in rucks because we all want to win.
The same with you, Steve, and boys?
No, we don't live together now. Liam and Callum still live at home with mum and dad, but me and Paul have moved out. But it was the same thing. We never, from when we were kids, you know, we used to race home from school, and as soon as we get in from school, the gloves would be on, we'd be sparring in the living room and stuff, and as soon as my mum or dad come in, we'd have to get them off and hide them before they'd see what we were doing. And it's always been like that. Even if we have little games of football, anything, you know, just competitive, arguing, pool, anything, just everyone wants to win.
Well, you think you've got February you've got 3 brothers at Wembley, and then you've got the 3 brothers fighting again, 3 different brothers fighting in March, which I think is a bit unique.
You've got to find 6 wives for 6 brothers.
I need 1 more brother and I'll be in.
Yeah, we live right on the seafront. No, we're about 100 yards away. We can see the sea where we are, yeah. It's
You own the arcade?
No, my sister's my sister's boyfriend owns it, so he's let us like.
You won't miss where they live. They've got their own postman pack car parks out outside.
Yeah.
Do you go to the guy? Sorry.
Sorry, no, I mean, it creates obviously a sort of idea of like you start out as sort of like any arcade in Frankfurt, and obviously, you know, everyone thinks about Las Vegas and fashion shoes there. Just keep you away from that bringing things in mind.
No, it closes quite early at the minute because it's winter, but in the summer it's a bit of an headache. It's up until late, and you have it all going on, but it's pretty ideal. We've got a gym beneath it as well. We've got our own like gym beneath it, so we can just go downstairs and train whenever we want. Plus, we travel 20 miles to Norwich to train.